So, we finally have our very first live-action Wonder Woman movie. But, is this new Wonder Woman movie really good? Or is it a disappointment? Let's find out. So, Wonder Woman is the fourth entry in the DC Cinematic Universe, and it is directed by Patty Jenkins, and it is the first live-action film of the character Wonder Woman. This stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Connie Nielsen, Robin Wright, Lucy Davis, David Thewlis, and a bunch of other people. And this is directed by Patty Jenkins. And is based on the character of the same name created by William Moulton Marston. So, that's the info on this. Now, before I get into what I think of this movie, let me just say right now that this is going to contain spoilers. So if you haven't watched the movie yet, you might as well go ahead and watch the movie before watching this review. And second, let me just talk about the production of this movie. So this started in 1996. They tried to get a film made back in 1996 with Ivan Reitman as producer and director. Then 3 years later, the project was attached to John Cohen, who was adapting it, and they tried. Then 2 years later, they had screenplay, and they had actresses gossiped to play a part like Beyonce, Angelina Jolie, Sandra Bullock, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Nadia Bjorn, Rachel Bilson, Eliza Dushku, and Charisma Carpenter, Marina Baccarin, and Priyanka Chopra, even Megan Fox as the character for Wonder Woman. But then all of them, they turned down and said no, and there were various different drafts written, and then they tried doing this again in 2010, and then Joss Whedon was one of the writers back in 2005, but they didn't. They just Warner Bros. Scrapped the project, and then eventually in 2014, they got the movie off the ground, and then all the production stuff went on, and then they got the movie off the ground. So that's basically and then Gal Gadot, she won the title part over Elodie Young and Olga Kurylenko for the first theatrical appearance in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I know a lot of people say she was shoehorned in. I didn't have a problem with Wonder Woman being a part of the end of Batman vs Superman. And so yeah. And then they started making this movie, and then a lot of people were excited, but also a lot of people were worried because some people, they didn't like the previous DCEU films. Now, me personally, I loved Man of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was a much better start to DCEU than Green Lantern. And I still think that movie's underrated. I still think Henry Cavill is great as Superman. I still think that movie itself is great. I know a lot of people hate it, but people needs to learn to take something new when it comes to the character of Superman. And I love Batman vs Superman. That is my favorite of the DCEU. It does have issues with the theatrical edition, but makes up for it with the Ultimate Cut. The Ultimate Cut is much better, in my opinion. And Suicide Squad, I know a lot of people, including my YouTube friends, Tevia, Sean, Anthony, and John Avenger, they don't like the movie, but Parker, he likes it. He thinks it's okay, and I love it. I didn't mind some stuff. I do admit there were some problems I have with that film, but I'll talk about that film again when I do my DCEU ranking. But right now, we're talking about her. We're talking about her. Now, the basic plot of this movie, of course, it is the origin of Wonder Woman. And before she was Wonder Woman, she was Diana Prince. She was the princess of the Amazons, trying to become an unconquerable warrior. And she was raised on Shelter Island Paradise of Themyscira. Diana meets an American pilot named Steve Trevor, who tells her about the massive conflict that's raging in the outside world. And convinced that she can stop the threat, Diana leaves her home for the first time, fighting alongside a man in a war to end all wars. And she finally discovers her powers and true destiny, and she becomes the character of Wonder Woman. And the film is set in 1918. So yeah. That's basically the plot of the movie. That's all I'm going to say about this. This movie, what I think of Wonder Woman, I've watched this movie more than once now. And this is not only my second favorite DCEU movie, one of my favorite superhero films of all time, but I can simply sit here and say that this is the first great female superhero movie. Yes, I'm going to sit here and say it. And I don't care about the hate that this movie has gotten from a few people. This is a great Wonder Woman movie. This is how you do a Wonder Woman movie right. Because previous attempts of a female superhero movie has not been all that good. They tried to do a female superhero movie back then with there's been many failed attempts. The Catwoman movie with Halle Berry, the Jennifer Garner Elektra movie, the 1984 Supergirl movie, which is still a piece of crap. And also Tank Girl, which was also a piece of crap from what I've heard, and I never seen it. And people say this is a piece of crap. No, it's not. This is a great Wonder Woman movie. I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. This is a great film, and I just have a lot of fun with the movie. So yeah. Let me just say right now, this is an amazing movie. I love the beginning of the movie, how it starts out. We start off with the origin of Wonder Woman, and a lot of people complain that this movie just focuses way too much on origin. It's an origin story for the character of Wonder Woman, and it's her first movie, so of course you gotta focus on the origin of the character and her growing up as a little girl. So I was perfectly fine with it, and I honestly believe that it was necessary to focus on it. Now, I I don't mean to compare this movie to Doctor Strange, but when this movie does the origin in a way that is so amazingly well than that movie did, that which in case Doctor Strange barely had action and this movie had a lot of action, we have a problem. We have a problem. Because Doctor Strange is not supposed to freaking bore me like that. It's not completely boring, but it is boring in a few parts. That is the problem I have while watching that movie. But this, I was never bored. I was not disappointed. I seen some reviews on YouTube of people just ranting and raving on this movie for no reason whatsoever. And they're just missing the point. This is a Wonder Woman movie, and you need a Wonder Woman movie in this DC franchise. And we need a good female superhero movies. But I love the start of the movie. I like how this movie is directed. Patty Jenkins directs the first hour very well. Themyscira is beautiful. We get to see a lot of new characters. We get to see the mom, played by Connie Nielsen, who I still think is beautiful, and I loved her performance in this movie. I think she was really great here as the Amazon Queen of Themyscira and Diana's mother. And Connie Nielsen, she had previously been considered for the part of Laura Van in Man of Steel, but she turned it down. But I have to say that she was great here. I loved her performance here. She was amazing here. I have to say that she was fantastic in here. And I love the part of, I love how we get to see Wonder Woman as a little girl. It's really cool. She wants to be trained, but her mom doesn't allow it, but she does. And I have to say that that is pretty amazing. And just the way Themyscira looks is fantastic. And the training scenes is really cool. And the first time she uses the her bracelets to stop they just, everyone's on Themyscira is completely shocked, and just the look of Themyscira just looks really good. I love how it looks. It looks fantastically. It looks amazingly brilliant, and just looks really cool. I think this is the best looking at the DCEU movies behind Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. And I have to say, this movie has a lot of bright colors into it, because a lot of people complain that DC's other movies does not have enough color and stuff. But honestly, I disagree, because they have color. They just tone it down so it wouldn't be too much brightness and look like something out of Joel Schumacher was done. Anyway, I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. She's great. Screw the haters. Anyone who ever doubted her casting, you now feel bad, because Gal Gadot proves that she can pull this off, and she is here to stay as this character. She extended her film deal in the DCEU, and she extended it, so that's pretty cool. A lot of controversy over her casting because she didn't look the part, but she gained the muscle, and I liked her. And not to mention that I loved the Linda Carter show, and I loved the 2009 Wonder Woman movie with Kerry Russell, and people didn't have a problem with the casting. And how people gonna sit here and have a problem with Gal Gadot's casting? oh, she doesn't have any, she's not big breasted. If you were cast as a big breasted girl, you honestly would have just it would totally distract the boys while watching this movie, including myself. But I was happy with Gal Gadot's casting choice. I defended her casting choice. She was great in BVS. I loved her in here, and here she showcases a lot of emotion. And her emotion, you feel it. When she's crying, and she may be a strong female character, but she's also vulnerable, and I like that. And also the action scenes are really cool. And the first action scene when Steve Trevor arrives, and then all the actions there and the Amazons are fighting. This does lead into the character that Robin Wright plays, General Antiope, the sister of Hippolyta, and Diana's aunt. She does die in this movie, but she's being confirmed for Justice League for cameos. I'm a cameo or flashback, I don't know. But yeah, I really thought that Robin Wright, she was good for the screen time she had. She was really great. I love the action scenes on Themyscira. They look really amazingly well. I thought they looked fantastic and just amazingly well. And it's just fantastic to see, because you finally have a DCEU movie, and a lot of people hate on this one too. Some people hate on this one too, but it's unnecessary. I know this movie's not going to be for everyone, but I love the film. Also, let me talk about Chris Pine. Say that he is really great, Steve Trevor. I love the chemistry between him and Gal Gadot. I felt their chemistry. They have amazing chemistry together, and their scenes together, they're really cool. And I love the writing in this movie. The writing in this movie is very strong. There's intense moments. There's light-hearted moments. Speaking of lighthearted moments, you have Lucy Davis as Etta Candy, the secretary of Steve Trevor. She was funny, hilarious, and this movie was funny at times, but this is what I like about this movie. Even those dealing with World War One, this movie is not afraid to have humor, and they not only reference the Linda Carter show, but they also make references to the original Superman movies with Chris Reeve, the first two, and Marvel. So that's pretty cool. And they took inspiration from Captain America: The First Avengers. So, but I was pretty happy, and just I like the music in here by Rupert Gregson-Williams. The music in this movie is very strong. They do play the Wonder Woman theme from BVS, which I still like. I think that's an awesome theme. Screw the haters. That is a good Wonder Woman theme. And I love the score here, especially No Man's Land. Let me talk about No Man's Land. That sequence is one of the most awesome sequences in any superhero movie, not just Marvel or DC. That sequence was awesome. No Man's Land, that is intense. When she first arrives with the costume on, that was pretty awesome. And I love how the costume looks, and a lot of people complain about the costume because it doesn't have any pants or chest plates, but Patty Jenkins, she defended that while making the movie, and I agree with what she said. I don't see those people say the costume is sexist, and a lot of people were thinking that this would be another Ghostbusters, you were proven wrong, because this is not another Ghostbusters. This is a great film, and you also have other cast members like Elena Anaya as Dr. Poison. I liked her. She was okay. Could have been a little better. I liked Danny Huston as Eric Ludendorff. He was also really great in here. All the cast was good in here. I love the cast. And just the action scenes are so well shot. There is a lot of slow motion. I will admit there is slow mo, but I don't mind slow motion. I don't mind slow motion in superhero movies, or in any movie. And that could easily turn people off, but I love how this movie just plays out. The production design looks fantastic. I love the costume work, especially on the costume of Wonder Woman. It looks pretty cool. And the dance scene with Steve Trevor and Gal Gadot, where Diana has her sword in her dress. That's pretty cool. And the dress that Gal Gadot wears is beautiful. Gal Gadot, she is amazing in here. She's great in here. She's also very hot in here. And let me just say that people who complained that she cannot pull this off, she pulled it off. You people don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, I'm not gonna try. And Zack Snyder, he did produce the film and did help with the story, and it was important they got a female director, because if you got a male director, this wouldn't have worked the same way it did. It wouldn't turn out the same way it did. And I love how Patty Jenkins directs this movie. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of there's a lot of cool moments, and it's not so bad for origin. I don't have any issues with this movie, other than how I'll get to it, but it's not really a big issue. It's more of a nitpick. But I love how this movie plays out. Just the action scenes are well shot. You get a lot of great moments in here with Diana fighting, especially horseback riding with her sword, like you saw in the trailer, and amazing shots, and the action is good. Now, for the budget that they had, this movie looks well spent. The money was well spent. They worked hard to make this movie great, and the marketing was really fantastic. I'm actually very surprised that they went to the marketing of Supergirl, the TV show with Melissa Benoist, to market this movie, and it shows throughout the marketing. So I give Warner Brothers extremely pride for that. And this movie is not a mess, as those darn stupid rumors were going. So those people, you honestly need to shut up. Again, I think this film is fun. This is great. I like how this film is well shot and lit and framed. How the action scenes are edited, cinematography in this movie is great, and it's fun. It's fantastic. I don't see why the negativity. Now let me get into the end of this movie, because the end is what I want to really talk about the most. The end of this movie, where Steve Trevor, he dies, but Chris Pine, he has a multi-picture deal, I think. Yeah. He dies, and you feel the emotion of Diana, and she tells him she doesn't have to do this, but Diana has to let him do this, and that scene was sad. And let me just say that I'm very proud of how the film turns out. This movie is doing really good with the box office. I bet this movie's gonna make $1 billion, or at least not. If not $1 billion, then 700. I don't know. But this movie is really good. The end, though, with Aris, played by David Thewlis. Yes, David Thewlis plays the part of Aris. My problem with Aris, he is a great villain, but my problem with him is that how was he able to find out who Diana was? Where did he came? Where did he show up? Just all that. Just. But I love the final battle between Aris and Wonder Woman. Yes, go ahead and say it. That this movie has a little bit too much CGI at the end, but it's Wonder Woman. She's not a normal character. Of course, you're going to need CGI. You're going to need CGI, and the scene where she just takes both of her hands and does the what she did in Batman v Superman, what I'm doing right now, that was pretty cool. I love that scene. When you see what happens at the end of the movie, I'm not gonna say. She takes them down, and the action here is great. I love all the action scenes with Wonder Woman in action, and the end. And I felt satisfied while watching this movie. And the final action scene is breathtaking. All the visuals is breathtaking. This is just a great movie, and I love the film. This movie, I love everything about this film. I think this movie is fantastic. I think this movie is great. It is a masterpiece that everyone says it is. It is the best DC movie since The Dark Knight, because Dark Knight Rises, you couldn't even beat The Dark Knight. And with the success of this movie, hopefully we get more female superhero movies like Psylocke, standalone Psylocke movie. I know Dark Phoenix is coming out, so I'm pretty much excited for that. I'm looking forward to Gotham City Sirens. I want to see a Black Widow movie, a Scarlet Witch movie. I still want to see a Supergirl movie in DCEU. And just, yeah, I am, at this point, give me more great female superhero movies, because a superhero saving the world is not a bad thing. And I'm so excited for the sequel. It's going to be even more awesome. And the end of this movie, with the last shot is literally her in her costume coming out, just up in her costume, and then just flying out of the city, and then just, you get in slow motion, you get the last shot of her just like flying. That's in the invisible jet. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I will say that they did everything right of this Wonder Woman character. So yes, overall, Wonder Woman is a great time. I recommend this movie to anyone. If you are a DCEU fan and you will enjoy this movie. But if you are not a DCEU fan, you will not like this movie. But even if you're not a DCEU fan, you should at least be able to enjoy this movie. But if you don't like the movie, that's fine. But this is not mediocre. It's not overrated. It is not overhyped as The Amazing Spider-Man was or Doctor Strange. Not just saying Doctor Strange is a bad movie. I'm just saying that movie is still an okay movie to me. I don't agree with everyone on Doctor Strange. But anyway, this film is still great. So yeah. Wonder Woman was an excellent female superhero movie and my second favorite DCEU movie, and I'm going to give it my JD Rainbow Seal of Approval. So yeah, guys, that was my in-depth review of Wonder Woman. I hope you enjoyed watching the review. I'm sorry this was long, but I wanted to talk about this movie in depth. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to Justice League. Hoping Superman will be in that movie and play a part in the final battle. And I'm looking forward to Aquaman. Jason Momoa and watching Amber Heard as Mara. Because I think Amber Heard, she's going to be great as Mara. I know what she did to Johnny Depp was messed up, but people, you gotta let that go. You really have to let that go. So, let me know what you guys think of Wonder Woman down below. Did you like the movie as much as I did? Do you think it's okay? Do you hate it? And I will see you guys in the next video. And if you like this, you can click here and we can all have a good time. Bye. One other thing. Am I the only one who wants to see a movie with Wonder Woman and Supergirl teaming up and working together to fight a villain in the DCEU? If I'm not the only one, any of you guys comment down below, because I really think that a movie with Wonder Woman and Supergirl working together to fight the bad guy would be really cool.